the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, with trust in God, we will lift our homeland high. We believe in togetherness, we'll build a land of
Who is this now, Oga?
Chief, this way.
First of all, is to thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this very massive intervention in providing water to the Anambra, especially the affected communities here. Of course, we are right here in Anambra River. We are going to draw water from here. You can see the massive pumps. They draw it from here. It will go to a massive treatment plant there that has the capacity to treat 10 million cubic meters of water per day. From that treatment plant, it will go to an overhead water tank at Father Joseph's. That's about 400 cubic meters. From there, it's going to be reticulated through a total length of reticulation network of 5 kilometers, about 3 communities. That's basically what we have here, Your Excellency.
Let me, who else will speak?
Well,
welcome everybody. Yes, this is a joint venture contract between a South African company called PCI Africa, represented by myself here today, Paul B Construction, represented here on my right hand side by Paul B himself, and then also One Dot Associates, unfortunately not present here today. Between the three of us, or 3 contractors, we have put together all of this equipment and all of this material to make this project possible.
Your Excellency, the only thing I have to say is to thank the government of Anambra State for the opportunity given to us to put up this project. The bidding process was quite transparent and quite open, and for us it was an opportunity to deliver water to the Anambra. Even though as we make progress, Your Excellency, we are going to make one simple request, which is about security. Hopefully, if because it's not part of the contract, putting a post here so that the vigilante of the community should be able to protect this pontoon, Your Excellency. That's one of the things we want to do and say right here and now. Thank you, sir.
APGA. Well, I'm very happy to be at this project site. This is the source of the water that will be treated and pushed to a tank by Father Joseph that has a capacity of how many? 450 cubic meters of water. So from that point, it will be reticulated to the whole of Aguleri, the whole of Umweri, and the whole of Umuabanam. Those 3 major communities will, at the first phase, benefit from this project, which will be completed in April. The second phase starts from April and will move the water activities to another the first phase is 3. The second phase is about 8 communities, you know, and that one will be achieved before December, you know. So we, this project is between European Union and Anambra State Government. European Union and Anambra State Government. We have paid our counterpart contribution, and you can see the project is moving accordingly, you know. So we're going to inspect the water treatment plant, then we go to Father Joseph to inspect the overhead tank. Then we move to a similar project in Aguata. Thank you.
God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, we've trust in God. We will lift our homeland high. We believe in together.
Cleaning this water starts with sucking it out of the river where we've just come from. Those pumps from the pontoon pump the water up the hill up to this area where we are standing now. What you see here in the background are 4 tanks. 2 tanks at the back, 2 tanks in the front. The water goes into the 2 tanks at the back first. Those are the clarifiers. In those 2 tanks, the first process of cleaning of the water takes place. We add some chemicals into the water, which helps the sediment to settle down towards the bottom of the tank, leaving the cleaner water towards the top of the tank. That cleaner water then flows over into these 2 round tanks that you see in front of you, the 2 blue ones. In those 2 tanks, the next process of cleansing takes place, which is known as sand filtration or filtration. It's a sand process. Just behind me here, you can see the actual sand lying in the bags. They still have to go and be placed inside of the tanks. The water gets filtered through the sand. It comes out at the bottom of the tank, and it gets pushed by the force of the water in the tanks itself into this large square tank, which is a 500 cubic meter capacity. When the water enters this tank, it is clean and it's ready to drink. From the tank, the water then passes through the pump house, where the pumps pump the water up the hill towards Otuocha township. At Otuocha, where we will see just now, further in our visit, it gets stored in a large 450 cubic meter capacity tank, and from there it gets distributed in 5 kilometers of pipework throughout the township.
That's good.
Sorry, each tank of this, what is its capacity of the tank?
If I don't know the exact figure, but it's roughly about 200 cubic meters per tank. 200 cubic meters. If you take this tank over here, the large square one, this is 500 cubic meters. Each of those tanks is just slightly smaller, or half the size of this tank over here.
Okay, after some time, there is possibility of every water put in a tank to get rusts, especially this one. Is it possible that this one will have such experience?
No, there's no such chance. The reason for it is that this tank is galvanized steel. Galvanized steel doesn't rust.
Okay, PG.
All protocols duly observed. I happened to be here a while ago, that's sometime last year. I inspected it with the World Bank officials that came, and there's no difference from what he told us now and what he told us then. It's still the same thing. We're optimistic the project is already working, and Willie is working. So right now, what I see as a challenge is the security aspect of it, which we've mentioned to His Excellency, now that he's here. We, the Agulere people, and as the chief servant in Agulere, will do the little, and with blessing of the Excellency, we do the best we can. We thank you.
Let me just also add one thing. Your Excellency, just like I've said earlier, security is important. management is important. Obviously, we have jointly given an expression of interest to manage this facility because, Your Excellency, is important.
No, we know that. Well, I want to once more thank the contractors for the extent of work done. I just paid a surprise visit to see how this project is going. I told you earlier, it's a project between European Union and Anambra State government. You know, we have paid our counterpart contribution long ago, and this work is going according to plan. Like I said earlier, the first phase of this work will be delivered in April. I'll come here to commission it with the EU. Then, and it will supply water to, if you look around, you see a lot of the reticulation going on, you know, and that's the ways to pass the water in the three main communities, Aguleri, Umweri, and Obiano, you know. And in the second phase, which will commence at the completion of this first phase, other communities of about 8 of them will be affected, down to Nando, Ibariam, and Co. You know, so this is a slow and steady progress that is being made in ensuring that our people have 24-hour drinking water supply. You know, in accordance with what is happening abroad. It is an opportunity to also let you know that Anambra State government has signed into the free defecation, open defecation. It is very important. I want the PG that is here and the PG of PGs that is here to please emphasize that at your meetings. We have provided funding to ensure that toilets and co are built here and there. You know, we want to be the first free open defecation state in Nigeria. All right. And we are targeting to do that. All this water that we are doing is to facilitate that, because without water, it may be difficult to achieve that in many areas. So thank you. We're going to now go to the tank that will be the receptacle for all this water that is being produced here. This is the production house. So let's go to the receptacle that will distribute it to the main place. Are we going to wait for any other? So let me understand.
Yes, Your Excellency. So, you know what we call the St. Joseph's Catholic Church overhead water tank. This is the 450 cubic meter tank which receives the clean water from the treatment plant down below the hill where we have just come from. From this tank, we then distribute the water in a network of 5 kilometers of distribution pipework. And along that network, there are water points and taps where people from the village and from the establishment will be able to get their water from.
Okay, the 4,500 meters.
450 cubic meters.
Well, this is the receptacle, if you will, of the production process that we witnessed a few seconds ago down the stream. All the purified water will now percolate here, you know, and from here it will go through the reticulation to serve the people of Aguleri, Umweri, Moabanam, and many other places. That's the first phase. Second phase will cover about another 8 communities that will extend it to Ibariam, Nando, and the communities in that environment. This is important because in the history of all these neighborhoods, they've never gotten this kind of fresh water to drink. It's either borehole or stream water or water gotten from artisan well, which is also very clean water. You know, so I'm really delighted that this is going on. This first phase will be commissioned in April, I said. Igwe are here, they've been following me around. The beneficiary, one of the beneficiary Igwes is Igwe Aguleri, Igwe Umweri, Igwe Moaba, the first phase. Second phase will take it to IML side and the Wariam side, you know. So thank you very much. So from here we go to Aguata to see again a lot bigger facility than this one that EU and Anambra State government are also doing. Thank you very much.
Water sanitation scheme. It consists of a number of phases. This is the very first of 4 to 5 phases. It is known as the Obizi intake. It consists of a natural spring, which is just behind us, and this spring produces clean drinking water. There's no need to purify this water at all. This water gets sucked up at this intake station just behind me. It then gets sent up to a second stage booster station, which helps take the water further. The total length of the line that this water is transported along is 25 kilometers long. That is an existing line from an existing scheme. Along that line we have places like Uga, Equilubia, Isofia and Ibuku. The line ends just after Ibuku. From that line we then add new pipework to distribute to the various communities, and that new pipework is in a vicinity of 30 kilometers long in the various communities. Let's say 5 kilometers at one community, 5 at another, 5 at another, 5 at another, and so on. We've had some challenges with this particular Obizi intake area. The first one has been the road that we use to access the intake. We can just see that now. When the rainy season comes, the road washes away. So we need to have a look at reinstating the road and possibly even tarring it to prevent further water from damaging the road. The second challenge is the spring itself. When all that water comes down, it brings a lot of sand with it. And the sand gets deposited in the spring or in the bed of the spring, which causes the water to block and it pushes back, resulting in very high water levels at the intake. We are not able to go into the intake now because the water level is so high. You're not able to walk in there because the water comes up to your knees. Now that's as a result of the spring blocking up. So regular maintenance of the spring is also very essential from the community's point of view on a yearly basis, so that this water can not damage the works in the intake station.
Thank you. Commissioner.
Prevention. We are doing on water for our people to have adequate water supply. We are just coming out from Otuocha water scheme. It's still a joint venture between the EU and the Anambra State government. Of course, Anambra State government has paid their counterpart fund completely. The only difference is the Obizi water scheme is slightly bigger. Like he explained, the total length of reticulation here is about 40 kilometers and is going to cover about 14 communities, Your Excellency. You have about 8 number of overhead water tank located at various communities. Each of them is about 400 cubic meters. And the Obizi, where we are, this spring water has a very high yield, produces almost 7,000 cubic meters of water per hour. So we have enough water to service this line. This project has been moribund for more than 10 years, Your Excellency. And on your intervention, Your Excellency, from the look of things, from the interaction with the contractor, or from our supervision, by April, they are going to deliver on this project. We are very grateful, Your Excellency.
APGA. I'm very happy to be at this water scheme. This is a project started long ago, and for over 10 years it hasn't worked, you know, and in partnership with EU, Anambra State Government and EU, we are trying to make it work now. We put in so much money there with our counterpart contribution, and EU has mobilized the contractors and they are working on this facility. I have the guarantee of the contractors that this water project will be delivered by April this year, and that will be a big glory to these people that are suffering. You can see the height we climbed. We descended to come to this place. You can imagine somebody carrying water to go up that level. That's a lot of punishment. You know, so I'm very glad to fix this water project once and for all, so that the people of this community will have water. We are going to address the challenges of the water during the rainy season. Because this place is a mountain, water comes from various areas, not only from the normal channel. You know, so those various areas bring their traffic down here and affect the sand level and water view. That is an engineering challenge for the contractors. I don't want to hear that after we have commissioned it and in another 1 year tell me that the sands have covered them. So you must find a way to solve it. You hearing me, sir?
I'm listening.
Yes, very important. You must make sure that those things are done. You have seen the road, we graded it, that's why you were able to come in here today. We are going to mobilize Obizi here, you know, to asphalt the relevant portions to link to the main road. You know, that alone will help the main entrance, which is looking like a drainage on its own. You know, so I'm very happy to be in this very old water scheme, tried by several governments. They will start and work for 1 year and it will stop. But under my leadership, I want to make sure that we solve this problem permanently. That's why we've taken a long time with the EU, discussed with the engineers, and I'm satisfied that they are doing the right thing to make this thing work. So to God be the glory. So I hold you guys responsible if this water is not running by April. To God be the glory, everybody. APGA.
I'm so sorry.
Yes. Do you remember our shared 10 shared values?
Yes.
Number 1.
To make a positive impact on everywhere I go. To be a social provider and not a part of problems to be solved.
Number 3.
To be a role model worthy of emulation.
Number 4.
To do my best for all I do, particularly things I naturally good at.
Number 5.
To do the right thing as well as regardless of you doing the wrong thing.
Number 6.
To valentine and make the best use of it.
Number 7.
To make and show respect through my words and actions.
Number 8.
To consciously build a great legacy starting now today and every day.
Number 9.
To live a life of integrity and honor.
Number 10.
To make my family, my state, my nation and my God proud, so help me God.
Clap for yourself.
Make sure that they recycle. What is the school population? Where is the school? Just there at St. Peter's Catholic Church. So, what is your pressing needs? We don't have a school. Stay in the road. our own permanent centers going on, but it's not yet. It's not that construction.
So that's your request. Not that. I won't be able to do school building for you now. I thought you had asked to request something that I can do. So I'll give you a second chance. What do you require? Why are you looking at anybody? What do you require now?
I'm thinking I need to think in order to get it. Okay, we need a school bus. We don't have one.
No, so give me one school bus. Okay, you guys take care.
Thanks, Anambra.
States we love.